Hi, it's Dave from DaBelly, and we're at NAMM 2017. Today we're going to talk to Joey Sturgis, acclaimed producer, and, well, looks like the owner of JST. All right, tell me what you got going on here.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Joey Sturgis. I've been a producer for 10 years, and then I started a plugin company. So my mission is to help people create great music. I've always had a passion for that. I've always had a passion for producing people, and this is just something that allows me to take that to the next level, creating products that break down technical barriers and allow people to access their creativity a lot easier.
I know you spend a lot of time in the studio developing your sounds, getting your vocals right. It's good that you're bringing your products, or introducing products that allow other home producers, if anything, to sort of have that same success that you have. Tell me a little bit about the gear you got.
So yeah, we try to create our plugins from a space where we're solving problems. They're all solution-based plugins. One of the big things that I focus on is where are some of the bigger problems where people don't understand how plugins work or how certain processors work. For example, a vocal compressor has, attack, release, ratio, threshold, all these settings, and there's a steep learning curve to it. So we decided to create a vocal compressor that really only just has a few knobs, and you don't have to know how a compressor works in order to use it. And really what you're doing is you're just creating great sounds and great music rather than learning how to be an engineer or learning how the science of sound physics actually work.
Now, it's obvious for everybody watching at home, it's a little too loud in here to really get into the nuances of a vocal and adding a little compression to it. But we can talk about some of the plugins you have here on the monitor. Just go through and point out what you have and a little bit about what each one does.
Sure. So this plugin is our first one that we ever created. It's called Gain Reduction Deluxe. It's a vocal compressor. It's got an on knob, an input knob. Now this compressor is unique because it has a fixed threshold, so we use the input knob to kind of determine how much audio is hitting that threshold inside the compressor. Then you have the Slate Knob, and the Slate Knob is kind of the compressor all in one. If your Slate is on 0, you're not doing any compression. If your Slate is on 100%, then you're doing the maximum amount of compression. Kind of controls all of the things in one. Then we have a body slider. One thing I noticed whenever I compressed vocals is that the bottom end of the vocal always seems to come up when you start compressing. So I put a body slider built into it such that you could adjust that as you compress. We have a lo-fi switch on here, which enables a lo-fi effect, which I notice a lot of people love the lo-fi effect on vocals. We also have a mix knob where you can do parallel processing. I feel like every plugin needs a mix knob, right? So that we can control the wet versus the dry. And we have a gain knob. What's cool about the gain knob is there's actually a little marking on here on the side. If you turn the gain knob past that marking, it starts to saturate and distort the vocals and add some rich harmonics to it. So that's just one example of the kind of plugins that we build.
That's a very cool design. It's simplistic in its operation, but I know it's sophisticated in its sound. It must be quite a challenge to put something like this together.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have been able to build this if I hadn't recorded vocals for 10 years. So, knowing a little bit about the process and the human voice and also how the DSP works, and I have a programming background, so I have done some things with electrical engineering and some computer science. So I'm able to apply all of those things into one and really put it all into one package.
You have another app here you want to talk about?
Sure. We could talk about actually our newest plugin is called ToneForge Jason Richardson. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is a plugin that we did in collaboration with Jason Richardson, who is a very accomplished and technical guitar player. He plays a lot of really complex stuff on guitar, and he did an album last year. And while he was working on the album, we worked with him and his producer and his engineers to really design a tone that fits the album and works with how he plays guitar. So, this plugin has 3 different amps. We have a clean amp, we have a rhythm amp, and we have a lead amp. And each amp has a custom design. For example, on the clean amp, we have the shimmer control. And as you move the shimmer control, you're doing a series of presence boosts, but there's also a compressor built into there. So it really kind of does 2 things at once. So it squashes the signal a little bit, but at the same time boosts the presence. You get a little more bang for your buck. On the rhythm amp, we have a clarity knob. I noticed that a lot of rhythm tones are very focused, and you hear the rhythm guitar the most in a song, so it's important to have all of those harsh frequencies removed from the guitar tone, because you're going to be hearing that sound for most of the song. And so this will remove those harsh frequencies, and then the range knob kind of decides where those frequencies are. For the lead amp, we have an edge knob, and the edge knob controls a pre-boost, a post-boost, and a limiter all at the same time. So this is really for when you need that extra oomph in your leads or your solos. You know, you're already going to have a great lead sound using the lead head, but when you need the part to go even further, you've got the edge knob to take you there.
That's a very cool setup, and again, simplistic in styling, but just sophisticated in sound. It seemed to be a theme for your product.
Well, obviously you won't be able to join us here at NAMM. I wish you could, but appreciate your time, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you much.
Thinking violence is what's on walls. Someone talking 'cause it's their forte. We've been 60s, so come for the charge.